Hey, how you guys all doing? How you
Doing
doing,
great,
Darren?
Joe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Hey, I want to apologize. I've been moving the house around, and I had to set up a new setup here, and here we are. It's 2:06 or 2:07. But we will speed right through it. So thanks for joining us today at 2. Um, what are we going to start off with today, man? Tell me about it. As I get set up.
Uh, just all kinds of new articles popping in all the time.
Yeah, yeah,
Obviously,
yeah,
we're gonna chat about the Zillow iBuying a bit.
yeah,
Um, just I'm gonna just run off a few titles here. We're not going to dive into all of them, but
yeah.
Wall Street investors, the new breed of single family landlords. I don't think
Uh,
that's much of a surprise.
right.
Um, Waiting for the dip in home prices, you could be waiting a while. Um, is the housing market cooling a little bit? Just all these questions. We're always reading all these articles, trying to decipher and share them with you. But we have two today that we're going to talk about a little bit at least. And
Yeah.
one of them, construction worker shortage has reached crisis levels.
Yeah, let me share my screen here. Hold on. There we go. So I know we're not going to go through the article, but what did you learn there, Darren? We're all
Right.
feeling the same pain, basically.
For sure. I think most in this field, unless that was your primary field of choice, have been just seeing the evolution of this shortage of labor
Yeah.
in this market. And it's been tough. I mean, what you're hearing a lot about is COVID and, custom materials and things not being delivered. But and I've said this many times. Gosh, if I didn't have, I know I have an ego, but like what I keep saying to everybody is, yeah, all these contractors are citing materials, but I'm like, no, materials are a little more expensive, but materials end up being 20% of the job. In all sincerity, labor ends up being 80% of the job. So really the prices have gone up so high because of the cost of labor. And this
Yeah.
article is highlighting that. And it's just because there aren't enough trained people to do all the work.
Yeah.
Um, and since the housing bust of 14 years ago now, so long, it's hard to believe. People keep talking about that like it's a fresh topic. But we lost a lot of labor at that time, which was legitimate because there wasn't the work, and we have not replenished from that time the volume
Yeah.
of labor and skill as well in the
Well,
existing
okay.
labor.
As you were talking about this, it made me think. It's like, okay, we got this new infrastructure bill, so congrats to Mr. Biden. But here we are with 300 to 400,000. It says open construction positions on a monthly basis. On a
Right,
monthly basis,
right.
and now we're going to throw in infrastructure and expect there to be more people qualified to also take over those jobs.
Well, the
It's
positive.
like, wow, man.
Right. If you're out a house and you want to have work done, it's a negative for sure. If
Yeah,
you're looking to remodel a place, it's hard. It's difficult. Prices have risen dramatically. But if you're thinking about a career change or
yeah,
you're just coming into making a career choice,
yeah,
I think there's going to be more value. This article highlights that wages have gone up tremendously, and actually that construction wages are higher than average wages in the country.
yeah,
And they're just so short that they're willing to give bonuses and train people to bring them in.
yeah,
They talk about things like, I thought this article was great, and I think this was a good parallel. Like going towards people coming out of the military. We got a lot of people
yeah,
coming home from Afghanistan, a lot of
yeah,
people finding issues. I think transitioning into construction is fantastic. I think there should be a program, even if
yeah,
at the federal level,
yeah.
taking those military people and moving them into construction jobs.
Yep.
That would be amazing. So lots of open spots in construction. If you've been thinking about that as a field, it's expected to be a very strong field for some time to come. And, we all feel your pain if you're looking to have some work done on your place because prices have gone up a lot.
Yeah, yeah. You don't have to go to university 4 year, 5 year degree to have a decent wage. I think if you go in the right direction, like you're saying.
Yeah. And I will say for those who actually, and this is a bit of a lost art, for those who take it as a true professional trade,
Hmm.
those who master their trade and do it well,
Yeah,
do get paid well.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, well, great. So that is that. One thing I need to chime in on is our disclaimer. So I'm going to punch up the Zillow's article we're going to talk about. But let me start here. Darren Hubert and Joe Cloninger are real estate agents at Avenue 8 under the Urban Hillsides brand. All opinions expressed by Urban Hillsides or guests on this video are solely their opinions and do not reflect the opinions of Avenue 8. You should not treat any opinion expressed by Urban Hillsides as a specific inducement to make a particular investment or follow a particular strategy, but only as an expression of Urban Hillsides team's opinions. This video is for informational purposes only. There you go. All right. So big news in Zillow world. And really, when we say Zillow world, that's really real estate in general
sure.
nowadays. And, it started with some rumblings maybe a couple weeks ago, Darren, right, of Zillow offers stopping their iBuyer program called Zillow Offers. And basically, they stopped buying. And then quickly, about a week later, we find out, oh, they're out of this business. They've stopped. It's halted. And so it leads on, of course, to our discussion about Zestimates. But we've got an article here. I can read through it. I don't know how long it is. I hope it's not too long. With that in mind, do you want to talk a little bit about it now? And let me get this article up.
Sure.
Yeah.
With it breaking down why this was not a successful program, we have a little bit of an understanding from an internal perspective how Zillow functions in this world. And a part of that is Zestimates. Another part of that is a highly overworked realtors who, in all sincerity, were probably extremely happy to become a part of this Zillow program, who was offered to a select group of agents to participate on their behalf because they didn't have their own local agents. But they just became completely buried in volume, completely buried. And Zillow takes a big percentage of the commission, and then they have to, it just gets divvied up in so many ways that they probably weren't going out and getting the best realtors to work alongside them to meet the need of volume. So a combination of relying on a mathematical equation and then highly overworked realtors did not equal a successful end for this. And in all sincerity, I'm very happy to see them getting out of this business because they weren't doing the profession any good.
Right. Well, a lot of repercussions from this. I guess for me, and what I put in our email that just went out was, I think this definitely reflects them pulling out of their own iBuyer program and stopping it. It reflects on the longer Zestimates, which a lot of people have relied on, not real estate agents, hopefully, for the most part. A lot of people value their home based on Zestimates. And here we see that Zillow themselves, it failed them, their own data, in a lot of ways here. So that's the real warning, I think, for the larger population of real estate owners. Careful with Zillow. And trust more in your agent, I would say.
Yeah, for 10 years we've called it an entertaining tool if you're not serious about selling.
Right.
And in reality, I don't think that position of ours has ever changed.
Right.
There's absolutely no way a mathematical equation can determine the value of a property and understand all the components involved to come up with an accurate value.
Well, here, let me go through this opinion piece. I put it on the chat. I believe you've got a couple free reads on inman.com for those of you that want to go to this opinion piece. But it's titled, Zillow Offers Collapse is Proof of the Zestimates Inaccuracy. Zillow's decision to shut down its iBuying business is more than just a response to the volatility of the Zestimate, but rather an indication that technology can't solve everything. For almost 2 decades, real estate professionals have been told they will be disintermediated by technology innovation. Zillow's decision to stop its own iBuying operations is more than just a response to the extreme volatility of the Zestimate and their inability to accurately forecast prices. It's a recognition that real estate investing, real estate brokerage, and mortgage are fraught with problems that technology companies seldom encounter. When Zillow first launched in 2006, I wrote several columns citing the inaccuracy of this estimate. As a result, Zillow founder Rich Barton invited me to join him for lunch at the 2007 Real Estate Connect to discuss Zillow's business model in more depth. And at that meeting, Barton shared the following. Zillow's business plan was to rely on its advertising platform as their primary source of revenue. Concerns that Zillow is competing with brokers were unfounded. Instead, their goal was to work as a partner to real estate companies. Barton also told me that Zillow launched its estimate tool because that's all we had at the time. Wow. He went on to say the original inaccuracy of this estimate tool, an average of 7.2%, would improve as Zillow collected more data. Zillow stood by that promise until they launched their iBuyer program, Zillow Offers, which they first piloted in 2017 as Zillow Instant Offers. At that point, they were no longer advertisers. They were now competing directly with agents to obtain the listing. In January 2021, Zillow launched its brokerage operation to streamline their iBuying process. They hired salaried agents to work with sellers who were seeking a cash offer from Zillow Offers. Zillow Home was the broker of record. According to The Real Deal, Zillow made this decision to grow their revenue. When they initially launched the iBuying business in 2017, no one anticipated the pandemic, the labor shortages, and the severe problems in the supply chain that impacted Zillow's ability to rapidly purchase, update, and then sell their iBuyer inventory. The result had undermined the accuracy of their estimates. On a recent earnings call with investors, Barton stated, "Our observed error rate has been far more volatile than we thought possible." Wow, what is this? Like you said, 14 years later, he says this. He later admitted that fundamentally we have been unable to predict future pricing of homes to a level of accuracy that makes this a safe business to be in. Zestimates, a thorn in the side of realtors since 2006. Since their launch in 2006, Zillow estimates have been a thorn in the side of agents, and for good reason. One of the most common objections agents still face today is, "But Zillow says my house is worth more." Unfortunately, very few agents know how to successfully defend against this estimate. One clever agent I interviewed back in 2007 overcame the Zillow objection by saying, "I don't give estimates, I give exactimates." Today, the best approach is to quote the values generated by other AVMs, automated value models, including HomeSnap, Realtor.com, and the Chase Home Value Estimator Evaluator. You could also include offers from iBuyers such as Opendoor. When you present sellers with different AVM values, they are usually confused as to which value is correct. At that point, take out your CMA and explain how you arrived at your price based upon your square footage, CMA, and local market knowledge. Anything to talk about there, man, since we've gone through part of the article?
No, it's all good.
Okay, all right. I know you'll unload later as well. Well, cheers from the Inman community. After struggling with the Zillow objection for 15 years, the Inman community welcomed Zillow's admission that their estimates were no longer accurate due to extreme market volatility. Michael Scoffner summed up the mood like this. "What? You mean you can't rely on his estimate? Shocker." Yawn. "You got to admit that the irony in this failure is epic. What's unclear at this point, however, is did Barton only refer to predicting future value, not the present value? The problem is with properties sometimes selling for 10 to 30% over asking price, predicting the price where they will sell now has become problematical for almost everyone." What Zillow didn't say. Over and beyond market volatility and supply chain issues, Zillow's foray into iBuying and becoming a brokerage has resulted in headaches that may have played an additional role in their decision to abandon their iBuyer program. One of the most notable issues may be antitrust lawsuit filed by Rex Real Estate against NAR and Zillow that resulted in the DOJ intervening. On September 2nd, 2021, the U.S. District Court Judge Thomas S. Zilli, ruled in Rex's favor, saying that the brokerage has provided sufficient evidence to back up their antitrust allegations, which hinged on Zillow's execution of NAR's no commingling rule. To separate non-multiple listing service listings from MLS listings on its website. CoStar throws down the gauntlet. At Inman Connect Las Vegas, Andy Florence, founder and CEO of CoStar Group, declared war on Zillow's business model. CoStar is the global leader in commercial real estate information, analytics, and news. They also own Apartments.com, and they are now making their move into residential real estate. In a thinly veiled reference to Zillow, calling them Zilter, Florence drew a parallel of what it would be like if Zilter did to your for sale sign what they do digitally to your listing online. He explained it like this. So we just put our sign on the front lawn and the Zilter van pops up. A guy hops out and he spray paints over the agent's name, the broker's name, and their phone number. Now by law, you must have the listing agent's name on the sign. So he staples a little business card to the bottom where technically you could see it, and then puts a different agent's name up there on the sign. What this guy has done is to hijack the listing. Florence continued the analogy. The listing agent, who is now really mad, drives off to a showing. When he turns around, however, the dude who sprayed over his sign is now sitting in the back seat tracking where all his showings are. This is a reference to the fact that Zillow recently acquired Showing Time. Bad for both consumers and agents. Based upon his interviews and focus groups with buyers from all over the company, Florence is convinced Zillow's model doesn't serve the consumer well. Moreover, when a consumer hits that button on Zillow, they're starting a relationship with a number 5 robocaller in the United States. Florence went on to say, if they touch that button, they'll get shocked with robocalls and texts. It's a horrible environment. The buyer also wants to be able to talk to someone knowledgeable about the property, not a robocall center. That experience doesn't work for the buyers, and it doesn't work for the agents. The agents obviously do not like having to pay for leads that used to come to them automatically. The CoStar's model will direct listing leads to listing agents, not to buyers agents, who is paying a portal for premium placement. The war is on. In early 2022, CoStar will begin competing head-to-head against Zillow in New York City. CoStar has purchased Homes.com, which will compete with Zillow.com, and HomeSnap, which will compete with Zillow's agent products. Zillow currently has a huge strategic advantage over CoStar with consumers. According to Statista, as of October 4th, 2021, Zillow is the leading real estate and rental website in the United States with 36 million visits a month. Barton's decision to drop the Zillow Offers program and allocate his resources in their core model is a smart move given that CoStar is going on the attack. In the meantime, Zillow now have a powerful way to counteract Zillow estimates when they price properties. Agents now have a powerful way. It will be fascinating to see if CoStar can successfully prevail against Zillow. Popcorn, anyone. And then there are a bunch of comments here from obviously agents. So, but yeah, man, unpack some of that. What are your thoughts on all that? There's so much going on here.
Well, Zillow has been a disruptor since it came onto the market. They very quickly became the leader in contacts and what we call, on online eyeballs. They were just 36 million a month is insane. Nobody competes with them with those numbers. So they had the advantage in every field they move into, unless they don't do it with knowledge and boots on the ground. I think, they talked about one of the things that went wrong was COVID. Well, nothing happened during COVID, but prices rose during COVID, so they can't use COVID as an excuse on price points as far as their value. They exceeded expectations and still do to this day. Where they did go wrong is not having boots on the ground. And this is a trend in real estate that I don't like at all. Real estate, there are segments of real estate led by Zillow here that have become removed and very corporate. Now, there have always been corporate brokerages, national brokerages that have merged and gotten even bigger and bigger. But it was always about the agent on the ground, connecting with the consumer,
Right.
and working it out. That's not this model. So what may have caught them off guard here was what we just spoke about, which is why these two are tied together here, and that is they were not aware that the construction market was shifting while they were in the middle of tens of thousands of construction projects.
Right.
They weren't getting that data, and
Yeah.
they couldn't be on the ground to go source that better and fix the problem. And they just got too big. They're right. They can't predict the future of real estate. So being too big makes it easier to collapse. It's a slow moving market, but you're always evaluating it from looking at the past. There are indicators that can try to predict the future, but they can turn on a dime if something goes wrong. So I take this as I like the fact that Zillow's taken a step back and maybe more boots on the ground, smaller teams, independent people connecting with individuals is how to sell real estate. And there's always going to be those that want to sell it without that. And it's great that they have a tool to do so. But there will be shortcomings, there will be inefficiencies, there will be inaccuracies without having local, knowledgeable people. And that's where Zillow ultimately fell short.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's the short of it. Like you said, they have 7,000 homes now to sell as they get out of this business. And, it shows that data is not everything. Yeah, you do need a local person with local understanding and somebody to really be human with the other human. No doubt about that.
Sadly, they're a big corporate company. They'll go out and sell an additional 100,000 shares and just, take the loss and move on.
Yeah.
Shareholders in the end are the ones who will suffer for that loss from the corporate level.
Right.
The stock's already gone down tremendously. It will probably go down a little more before it comes back.
Yep. Yep. Okay. Well, there you go. I'm sure we'll talk about this more as things develop. But for now, and we said this in an earlier stream, but if you need to leave tomorrow and you need to get to your job to New York or wherever, iBuyers can be great. Other than that, though, if you've got some time, it might be worth your while to make a little bit more money and be patient. So, all right, next we are now going to solds, and these are solds in Northeast Los Angeles, where we live and work, and we will start, let's see here, sold listings last 7 days. So, let's see. Did you see the number, Darren? How many solds do we have?
Yeah, 32 solds and 52 new listings. Now,
Okay.
In a normal week, I'd say, okay, they were a little more than normal, but I will say this. There's an obvious component of this week and leading into next week.
Got it.
It's and we've had this discussion. We have a listing coming on tomorrow, then another one next week. Because you don't want to hit the market the week of Thanksgiving, and the slowest period in real estate is between Thanksgiving and Christmas. Although properties sell, usually they've gone into escrow in November. Fewer properties go into escrow in December. So this is why we will see a spike this week. I'm guessing we'll see a spike next week as well.
Got it. Okay. Well, let's start with 2590 Lakeview Avenue. This is under the category seller wins. So let's see if that makes sense. Looks like a fixer. So it listed at 900,000. Final price was 352,000 over at 1,252,000. So, wow, Darren, riddle me this. Let's see.
Gosh, man. I just sent an email off to a client earlier today talking about this is the approach to selling property these days. You don't want to overprice anything.
Yeah. Right.
Overpricing it just works against you. If you underprice it, properly market it, properly expose it, negotiate it well, that is going to bring you the maximum value the market will deliver.
Right. This is such a great example of that, man.
It's a perfect example. What happens is volumes of people show up, and it's a supply demand for that house. And when when there is excitement about something, more people get excited to get on board, and it
Yeah.
builds.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Well, look, this is on 2590 Lakeview Avenue. It is in Silver Lake. It's a 3 bedroom, 2 bath, 1,498 square feet, so decent size. Again, sold 1,252,000 on a lot of 4,466. And I'm looking at the map real quick, Darren. It's on the 5 side, I think. So I don't know if it experiences noise there. Maybe it's just on the other side, and it's safe. But it took days on the market 12. It started at 900,000, and it's a great view. Obviously, it is on the 5 side. It's right on
Yeah.
that ridge, probably.
Right.
Wow, look at that, man. Did you see that bathroom?
Yeah, I'm looking at it. Gosh.
But
Yeah.
yeah, great example. So congrats to Daniel Banchik and Amy Dantzler over at Berkshire Hathaway. And on the buy side, our good friend Natalie Stern-Traben getting it done.
Yeah, and this house has some core components. It's open floor plan. It
Yeah.
doesn't have, the finishes in the bathrooms and the kitchens.
No.
Even the exterior maybe isn't the most modern and hip color. So all of those things are reasonably easy fixes if the openness of the floor plan and the flow and the scaling of it all makes sense.
Yeah.
Then this becomes not a flip, I wouldn't think, but a very quick
Yeah.
remodel to move in.
Yeah. Yep. Awesome. All right. Well, good job, guys. Next, let's see. We are going to look at 2219 Ben Lamond. Let's see. I think this is. Oh, excuse me. Let's see here.
It's another $300,000 bump.
Yeah. But I think the price is a little higher.
Yeah, 1995 to 2303.
Yeah. So that was a $308,000 bump up. Let's see what they saw. Okay. Beautiful home. So yeah, 2219 Ben Lamond. This is in Los Feliz. It's a 3 bedroom, 3 bath, 2,672 square foot home. Sold at 2,303,000. 4,600 square foot lot. Looks like there's a view there for sure. It took 14 days on the market to sell, and it originally started at 1,995,000. This is brought to us by Marcus Cantor and Christy St. James at Berkshire Hathaway, and on the buy side, John Costry over at Normand and Associates. So, gosh, not a whole lot to say other than. Kind of what you expect in Los Feliz,
Sure, it's a great neighborhood, nice house. Love the fluorescent lights in the living room. Yeah, again, it's some fixes that will have quick impacts, and this is about neighborhood and square footage.
Yeah. Presented well. Yeah, nothing crazy, but they staged it, and it looks good. True to
This
the
is
neighborhood.
very similar to what we do. We do enough fixing, enough repairs to bring it to market to maximize the return.
Yeah.
There are properties that are fully remodeled, and I probably hear more often than not these days. I don't like the finishes of the remodel, so this is an approach that works.
Cool. All right. Next on Seller Wins is, let's see here. We have 1826 Fair Park Avenue. It started at $849,000 and landed $201,222 up to $1,050,222. I wonder what the 222 is.
Yeah.
So Fair Park. Okay, there it is. Oh yeah, this is nice. Nice opening picture. Let's see. Let's see here. All right. Boom. Okay. So 1826 Fair Park Avenue. This is Eagle Rock, a favorite of ours. 2 bedroom, 1 bath, 946 square feet. It's not a large space. That's on a 4,000 square foot lot. It sold for $1,050,222. Took 9 days on the market to sell. It started at a list price of $849,000 and brought to us by Kristen Fox on the sell side, and on the buy side, Sarah Jackson. So let's see what it all looks like. There we go. Beautiful sky. Let's see. Wow, I love that table. In the living room.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah, not a big space, but
Yeah, I mean, small spaces will sell on well, small spaces will sell if they're very livable and move-in ready, and this is clearly that case.
yeah, well, a little extra space maybe. There we go.
Right, that's the garage. Yeah.
All right. Very nice.
Yeah, so it's charming. I mean, you can get
Yeah.
very high. It's funny because we walk into a lot of listings, and there are enough people that want to see a cost per square foot analysis. And man, I mean, we should know what that number is, but it's
Right.
just out the window more often than not because
Yeah.
the product varies so much.
Yeah.
And it's so much more, particularly in Hillsides. There's just so many different components, and the fact that we have so many different eras of build in the areas we serve, and there's just so much more than square footage. Just as an example of a small house selling at a high price and probably very high cost per square foot.
Yeah. All right. Buyer wins real quick. So 3815 Shannon Road. Let's go there. Let's see. Buyer wins. Shannon, sorry. Shannon, there we are. Let's see what this looks like. All right. So this is 3815 Shannon Road. It is a 4-bedroom, 4-bath, 4,301 square feet in the happy burg of Los Feliz. It sold for $2,075,000. Started at $2,150,000. It was on the market for 33 days, and brought to us by Catherine Suh of Nelson Shelton Real Estate, and on the buy side, Sonny Shackelford. What a name. Nicholas Property Group. So yeah, once again, we find ourselves in Los Feliz, and that is the high part of our market in terms of price, and you will get these discounts.
Yeah, I think, to say that the 80s are back does not apply across the board. It might apply to some fashion, some other components, but I don't know that 80s real estate will ever be back.
Yeah,
And there are some 80s
this is what we got
components
here. Yeah,
in this house. Maybe not all of them. It looks like there's been some upgrades, but
yeah,
man, it's just not sought after. And a lot of these, what they do is they take them, because the 80s was compartmentalized, and just the choice of finishes, like big round railings, and it's not desirable. So when I
yeah,
see a property sell at a discount, it's
yeah. Look at
very
this
common.
front. Yeah, look at this front. Yeah. What are you going to do with that?
Yeah,
There's a lot you got to
there are
change there.
things that could be done.
Yeah, like what? Like what would you do there? Like the
I mean,
garage door, the
right? You gotta the color is super important
uh
as well. You can adjust some of the focus by putting contrasting finishes on the surface.
yeah,
People do that. They put a wood trim on the face to
yeah,
create a different sense of depth and color palette, and yeah, that awning there. There are a lot of things that
yeah,
yeah, makes sense. Enormous, huge house, over 4,000 square feet.
yeah, yeah. That's great.
So,
All right. So next we've got.
but that's why it's a buyer win. The buyer can go in
Yeah.
and do this work now, and good for the buyer.
All right. So next is 2308 Commonwealth. This started at 2,759,000, got lowered by 109,000 to 2,650,000. So let's go to Commonwealth. There it is. Spanish. All right. Let's see. All right. So 2308 North Commonwealth. It's a 4-bedroom, 4-bath. It's 3,236 square feet. Living space sold for 2,650,000. Good sized lot, 8,300 square foot lot. 36 days on the market. Started at 2,759,000. Oops, let me hit that play button. And this is brought to us by Seta Postagian at American Realty Center, and our good friends Mary Regal and Rob Calick over at Compass. So congrats to all. But yeah, 109,000 off.
Yeah, from the outside, it's got nice curb appeal.
Yeah, yeah. I was more hopeful.
It's a nice Spanish. When you get inside, it feels kind of compartmentalized, and a series of smaller spaces, even for a 3,200 square foot house.
Yeah,
is what it looks like. And maybe when they did choose to upgrade it, wasn't the best choices.
Yeah,
so,
I think too. Obviously, it looks like maybe somebody was living there, and it's their furniture. That didn't help the Spanish feel.
Absolutely, the interior does not feel like a Spanish.
Yeah,
The exterior is clearly Spanish, and you hope for that on the inside. So it's very interesting. We talk about this with clients. You talk about it's hard for clients to see they live in this space, they're connected to it, but it's a bit of a disappointment. You're starting with an expectation from the outside, and you walk in, and there's a letdown.
Yeah, I was hopeful when I saw the outside.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, look at that. That's nice. The living room.
It is nice. Yeah, the open beam.
Yeah. All right. Next on buyer wins, and then we'll move to actives, is 1807 Michael Terena. Mitchell Terena. Let's see. 1807. I wonder if we talked about this.
There were two of them on Mitchell Terena that we had spoken of. Let's see which one this is.
Let's see. Okay. 1807 Mitchell Terena Street, 2-bedroom, 1-bath, 1,342 square feet of living space. Sold for $1,410,000. That's great. 7,500 square foot lot. Days on market 15. It did start at $1,570,000. So again, another lesson on overpricing here. Built in 1923. This is brought to us by Eileen Kimura and Paul Lester on the listing side, and I don't see the seller side or the buyer side. So, let's see. Yeah, just overpriced it.
Yeah, it just looks like not a lot of prep work.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's that simple. It just wouldn't get that price.
Yeah.
It only takes a couple weeks. Again, just sent this email off. By 3 weeks, if you haven't sold, the sharks are coming out, man. They're like, oh, that's old news. We're gonna start lowballing.
Yeah.
So.
Wow. Okay, well, let's move on to actives. And I guess, Darren, this is really our moment to talk about our latest listing. I will bring up urbanhillsides.com, and we can show people what we got. So it is a bit of an urban hillside up there where we are, huh? Woodland Hills.
It's as on the fringe as you can get, man. It's in the hillsides for sure. It's I don't know how urban it is though. As you said, this is a suburban hillside one.
Yeah. So it is 21847 Woodland Crest Drive. You guys have an exclusive, at least for today. It is coming soon. It will be active tomorrow. What do you want to say about it, Darren? I'll just roll through some of these photos.
Gosh, I guess first off, the pocket where it's situated is quite unique. If you want a little bit of that suburban feel, but you want access to the west side, to the beach communities, it's right off of Topanga and Mulholland, which is right as transition as you can get between suburban and urban. You have easy access to restaurants and all amenities down in Woodland Hills, and then a 10-mile drive over Topanga to get to PCH. So that component of it is incredibly ideal. You can get Morehouse, particularly if you need to commute to the east side, anywhere near PCH at Topanga. A lot more house you can get here. Now, it is a trust sale. It could definitely use some upgrades. It was a long time family home,
Yeah.
but it's good size. It's got good bones, and the little pocket that it's in
Yeah.
is quite unique. I'm guessing there's 150 homes in this pocket,
Yeah.
and it's just a little offshoot from Topanga, and that's it. I think it was a development done in the 60s.
60s. Yeah.
Yeah, and away you go.
Well, and if you do have your sights set on a larger home, there is a possibility here. We did see a house just down the street that utilized this terrace or this patio area above the garage, and it's something like 800 square feet. So there's a lot
Yeah,
of potential here.
it's very unique. It's a 800 square foot enclosed patio off 150 square foot bedroom. So,
Right.
it could
That's a good
definitely
point.
be 800 square feet more of house. We would hope that current foundation and everything works, and you could just build up a roof around it and then internally could reconfigure it.
Yeah. Well, that's great. So let's move on to actives. For those that are listening, we are going to be open for brokers on Friday, and then an open house Saturday and open house Sunday. So feel free to come by or give us a call, and we'll show it to you. All right. Next, we have some actives. Let me go to actives here.
Sure, I carved out some options here, Joe, so we can
Great.
maybe start with 2310 Second Street.
Okay.
This one's in historic Filipino town. Often we're not going that
Yeah.
south, but it's a good price. It's 799,942 square foot house.
Yeah. Okay. Here we come. Okay. You said 2310 second?
Yes.
Okay. We're getting there. Gee, MLS is busy today.
Yeah, it's a little slow. It is.
Yeah. All right. So 2310 second. Let's see. Second. Where is it? Second. There it is. So, well, it looks like a very simple, nice house, but that's a great
Yeah.
price.
940 square feet, move-in ready. Looks like good size yard. Yeah, it's a great price. And a second bath. Often in this square footage, you'll get a 2-1. It's nice to have a 2-2.
A little smaller lot, 3,300 square feet. But yeah, cute little house. Open house is tomorrow, 11 to 2, if you want to check it out. So it's only been on the market for 7 days. And oh, this is Nick Fichera stepping out of his commercial real estate shoes.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
What's another one you see?
4968 Vincent.
Okay, Vincent. Okay, Vincent. There it is. Wait, Vincent. Yeah, there it is. Now, why did you choose this one? It's Eagle Rock.
I like this pocket of Eagle Rock. It's walkable to Colorado.
Uh-huh.
It's got a lot of older craftsmen. This is a very good example of homes that are available in that neighborhood. This one
Two
has,
bedroom. Go ahead.
yeah, it's got some updates. It's got a detached garage that's been finished for use. And I think it's reasonably priced for a 2-2, 1,300 square feet plus the garage use.
That looks real nice. Yeah, right. 1,089,000. That almost sounds like a deal. So open house tomorrow, 11 to 1, and then Thursday, 11 to 1. Darren, have you noticed that people are doing 2 weekly open houses? It
Well, they've
seems
come
like.
back. They used to do that.
Oh, okay.
Again, during these next 2 weeks, people are going to push to try to get things sold.
That's it right there. You're
Yeah.
right. Okay. All right. What's another one?
Staying in Eagle Rock, 1819 Yosemite Drive. Slightly busier street, but a large house.
All right. So, wow, 949,000.
And well priced. Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to get a sense of it from the street. Not the prettiest thing, but
Right.
good price. 3 bedroom, 2 bath, 2,252 square feet. You're right. On a 6,900 square foot lot. It's been days on the market, 6 so far. And let's see, brought to us by Sebastian Wolski and Jason Perez at Compass.
It's all right. A little less finished,
Mm-hmm.
but it can often be cheaper to buy a larger house and remodel if you ultimately need a larger space than it can be to buy a smaller house and do an addition. So this is one of those examples. Certainly, I imagine it's going to go above 949, but it's a lot of space.
That's great. Let's see. Yeah, it calls out investor developers to bring new vision. Maybe, I don't know. Might be a little too high, but we've been wrong before. Okay. Anything else, Darren?
Sure. 3817 Lavelle Drive.
Lavelle. Lavell?
Yeah, Lavelle. Yeah.
There it is. 3817. Okay, so this is Glassell Park. Let's see. Okay, 3817 Lavelle Drive in Glassell Park, 4 bedroom, 4 bath, 2,534 square feet of living space for $1,449,000. Great views, 6,700 square foot lot, and it'll have an open tomorrow, 11 to 2. And this is brought to us by Nick Mercado, who we know over at Sotheby's
Yeah.
International. So is this an 80s thing? What do we got here?
It's interesting, right?
It's reminding me.
It is, but from the front, it looks like it has the '80s wood siding. But then when you get inside, it's super modern, vaulted ceilings. It is some '80s elements, but maybe not the worst of the '80s.
Yeah.
And some decent upgrades that make it work. But it is patio living. That's important to understand. There's what looks like maybe a small side yard. So at least that exists. But the views are off the back.
Yeah.
And they're pretty spectacular with lots of windows. It's very nice.
Wow. Okay. Well, I think that's it for today, right, Darren? Anything else to talk about? Oh, well, I guess here, let me stop sharing. Art Unite. It's 11 days away. I know you all want to be there, but you're going to need to RSVP. It will be a safe zone. We are requiring Vax ID with photo ID. And we've got, Darren, I counted around 65 pieces of great art. Everything from a young lady starting her career to Frank Romero. And even people that have unfortunately become famous after their life and are dead. Carlos Almaraz, very legendary Latin artist here, Chicano artist. So we've got some great pieces, and of course it's going to be fun, and it's for a great cause. CCAC in Echo Park, their youth programs. So go to artunite.org, and you can check it out from there, and we'll see you there Thursday, November 18th, 6 to 9, the live event at Tropico de Nopal Gallery.
Yeah, and in addition to that, we just really want to see you. If we're talking about past clients and people we know.
Yeah.
We haven't been out and socialized very much because of COVID. We're going to have a little music going, a few drinks can be had. So we just hope it's a social event you choose to participate in. You can be all outdoors. The outdoor space where you can dance and where the drinks will be. The art will be inside. You can wear a mask when you go inside, so it's great. We really hope to see you and that you'll sign up.
All right. So, guys, we're going to bug you a couple more times about this, but go ahead and sign up. We'll see you then. And just have a great week.
All right. Thanks, Jeff.
Take care, guys. Bye now.